Yeah. All right. Check on this alert. See, we
Cool.
live on the yard on the stream yard.
Okay. I wish I could check. My other phone's dead right now. Shalom to you all. One moment. We just checking to make sure that we live.
They gonna act like they don't know us around here. Wow. Go YouTube, go.
Well, YouTube tripping?
Yeah, I haven't got no alert.
Dang, I wish I could check. I don't got another check right now.
I got my phone right here and my laptop. I should be getting alert on both of them.
Mm.
But that's all right. If we end up just having to record it, it's all good.
Gone.
All right. All right. Well, hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
By giving all praises to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim teaching about the mind water moth. That's in sincerity and truth. Shalom. This is Dallas. Got the brother Sha'ar with me. I'm Yatazak. And Baba Kashah, let us know. I want to say I see a couple people on the comment board. Let us know if y'all got the alert or how that went. Yeah, because usually I would have got it by now. So just like the brother Big Bro Manatazak Bob was talking about yesterday, YouTube ain't broke. Yeah, YouTube ain't broke. They hurt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, stopping the streams, and he even mentioned how every time we get on, it's always a mess. So yeah, man, we just gonna get right into it. We was actually talking about last night going into the plagues that Yahweh Shem Shah is bringing upon the new Egypt, you know, and you got plagues that could be for an individual, you got plagues that could be for a nation, you know, you got plagues that go from being annoying to straight up full-fledged fear.
Yep.
You see, you got a plague of the mind, you got a plague of your you got a plague of the heart, you got all these different plagues, you got plagues from Miriam, women talking shit, individual plague. You see, what about what about when the Lord gave all them Hamites hemorrhoids? A plague. When the Lord got it out for you, you gonna get judged. You see, and that's why we was made a prophet amongst Israel and also amongst the other nations. So what we want to do, Lord willing, through the Spirit, is get into as many plagues as the Lord will allow for this particular lesson. You know, you got anything, Sha'ar?
Yeah, you mentioned even Esau. Even Esau being against us, us being in captivity, he was a plague unto us for the Lord to show his point and prove his point. All right, that we rebelled against him. So as you're pretty much saying, the Lord sends plagues to those that he wants to correct. But the thing about it is most people aren't going to correct from it. We corrected from it, Lord well aware of that number. All right. But the Lord is in these last days, especially sending plagues to these people, man. I mean, look at what's taking place right now. The jungle bumps. And this is right after Crown Royal 19. All right. The Lord is clearly showing himself that he is and who he is. And he's doing that in the form of judgment. You know, you got to score.
That brother said jungle bumps.
I got that from Elder Manatazak, man. Elder Manatazak Sr.
Woo, boy, I hadn't heard that one yet. Boy, let's get these.
Yeah. Jungle bumps and crunch bar, man. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you gotta you want to start with that in Exodus?
Which one of Exodus did you want? I had that Ezekiel 14.
That's what I meant, Salakia, Ezekiel.
I saw it good because Exodus definitely got hell plagues. None of them mugs, you know. But yeah, we can I got Ezekiel 14 and I can start from the top. Cool. And for y'all that are listening, we're gonna read through this I'm sorry, I almost did it too. We're gonna read through this Ezekiel the 14th chapter, and we're gonna build and establish from that, and then we're gonna stretch out and go into precepts as we read through these precepts here in Ezekiel the 14th chapter, just so you all have an idea on the route and angle that we're going. Okay. And for you newer listeners, we're in a time right now that the Lord is visiting, so be prayed up. All right. The Lord is here. It's the book of Exodus, Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 1. And it says, "Then came certain of the elders of Israel unto me and sat before me, And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men had set up their idols in their heart and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired at all by them? And it's spiritual, because you see that taking place right here. Even though it's going into the elders of Israel and such, you got wicked Israelites out of here today that are going to be touched by the Lord. But even just on a broader sense, people celebrating the idols, especially Jake, namely, worshiping their idols, setting everything up far and beyond the God of heaven and earth. And they walking around like they ain't going to be touched for doing these things. I did a lesson last night going into some pestilence, some plagues, and made mention going into the alphabet committee, going into the jungle bumps. And when you read it in Proverbs, it says pride go before destruction. And then it makes mention better it is being humble than taking a portion for the reward of sinners. Now, all these people are reaping their rewards for sinning, putting these idols up above, looking at themselves to be somebody, and walking around doing it, not thinking that the Lord is going to touch them for it. And the Lord likes to do it that way. You got it.
Pride Month was in June. Pride Month was in June. Right now, you got two states. You got two states under a state of emergency under this jungle bump shit.
Yep.
The East Coast and the West Coast. And you already know the plague gonna meet in the middle. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. June, it was on.
Yep.
June, it was on. Everybody was running their mouth. Everybody was proud, but pride come before destruction. That's why all July, you started to feel funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now in August, you look funny. Plagues.
Yep.
Okay, we saw the video the other day with the lady that was saying, if I would have known fighting for my rights, fighting for my rights to be a lesbian would have led to kids being able to change their sex, and if it would have led to all this confusion that they was telling you about back then, yeah, not you being plagued of your mind.
Right.
Just that quick. Bro, a plague don't announce itself.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you don't listen, when you don't hearken to the prophets.
Right.
You got it.
Yeah, plagues pop up live and direct. It's straight up. This is back in Ezekiel 14, verse 4. It says, therefore speak unto them and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, every man of Israel, Salakia, every man of the house of Israel that setteth up his idols in his heart and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face and cometh to the prophet, I, the Lord, will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idols, that I may take the house of Israel in his own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. All right. And Salaki, I'm actually going to jump down to the point. Okay, going into the plagues. Yeah. So I'm going to jump to verse 13. Okay. It's Ezekiel 14:13. And it reads, Son of man, when a land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it, and I will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. And we've been seeing that take place, especially as the gas went high, which over here in the DFW area is trying to low down just a little bit. But you clearly see that something's happening. But where I'm getting at is you see these these shelves getting drier, getting emptier. All right. You got the breast milk. I'm sorry, not breast milk, the baby formula, dog food, cat food. You go over to the produce. I went over there last week to get some jalapenos, fresh jalapenos. It was about 5 of them motherfuckers in there. Never seen that before. And then I got to try to find the one that's somewhat right versus the soft ones. All right. But that's just an example. That's just the Lord showing forth that he's visiting this place. Because he's allowing the food to be shortened.
I'm gonna look up the word plague right quick.
It's gone.
All right. Look up the word plague. All right. Nagai. All right. To touch, reach, strike, to reach, extend, to be stricken, to be stricken, to be defeated. Right, to strike, to be stricken by disease. Right? Yeah, to be stricken by disease. I would say you and your Planet of the Apes face. All right, you got to cause, to touch, reach, approach, arrive. Right, to befall, fate. You know what I'm saying? When you that's your fate.
Yeah.
These plagues are your fate, especially when you've been bro, it ain't nobody on the planet that can't say they ain't been told.
Right.
Whether you believe it or not is whatever. What you was told. That's when the Lord say, and they shall know that I am the Lord, he didn't leave nobody out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So when the Lord tell you, look, if you do this, you get if you do this, you good. If you don't, you play. Deuteronomy 15:28 on down. A list of plagues.
Right.
You got it.
Actually, one moment. I got to switch over real quick. For some reason, it's not letting me hear you when I switch over. Give me one time to look something up real quick.
Okay. Yeah, and while the brother looking that up, man, it's time and time again. When you think about Pharaoh, the 10 plagues that he sent on Egypt, you think about in Jeremiah when they talk about the prophets before me and the prophets before thee of old. You see? And all these things tie together to where the Lord revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. The prophets went and warned the people. The people didn't hearken, and then the Lord unleashed. It's a common theme. But now all of a sudden in 2022, it's gonna be different. Nah, you ain't gonna be able to wiggle your way out of the final judgment. Come on now.
Right. Hey, that's right, brother. Come. Yeah, this is back in Ezekiel, the 14th chapter, and I'm gonna read in verse 14. It says, though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, are in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith the Lord Yahweh. Now it mentions Noah, Daniel, and Job. Now this is really talking about the elect. All right. These are men that we can read about in the scriptures. And when you read about these men, these were men that were dealing with things. Noah, for example, all right, he's seen the end of the first world. Now we know the Lord deals with increments before he slams that heavy duty gavel down. Now it doesn't specify on the type of things that was happening in the world around that time, but best believe, since we know how the Lord works, he sends plagues little by little. Things was happening before he sent that water down. All right. Even that flood that flooded the whole earth was a plague. And Noah was in it. It mentions Daniel. Daniel literally seen the fall of Jerusalem. He was actually one of the exiles that got exiled out of the land and went over into the land of Babylon. That was a plague the Lord sent, sending those Babylonians unto us to take us and put us in captivity. Daniel experienced that, and Daniel seen that. He seen a lot of death. Okay. And then last but not least, Job. You know, the grandparents say, whenever you're going through something, read the book of Job, because Job was catching hell. Bumps, he had the botch of Egypt. Children died. His livestock got burned by the fire. These are all plagues, and it mentions these men being in it, which shows forth out of all these things that's happening, and it's about the climax from here. All right, we're gonna be here.
That's right.
We don't have no Goshen like we had in ancient Egypt to go into. We here, man. Now we're sheltered by the Lord, and hopefully we're going to be protected. We believe we are going to be, Lord willing. All right, but we don't got no place that we can go to take refuge from the plagues that's to come. No, it says, as these men were in it, they were not able to save their own souls, but their righteousness. Okay, unless you got something, Zaquan.
No. You said, I couldn't have said that better myself. You know, I was saying, and think about when it comes to all these different plagues that could possibly hit. You see it, all of them. The plague's gonna turn up. I'll say, because the scriptures talk about the Lord coming with something that we haven't seen before. You see, now when it comes to the war, evil, and pestilence that we have seen, that's some pretty scary stuff. You see, but when you think about what's to come, you haven't. That's what I'm saying. Think about all you've seen. World War I, World War II, World War III. That's what I'm saying. You had what, Cain killed Abel. All of that. Murdering your own brother. All of that is gonna pale in comparison to what's coming now. Jacob's trouble, a plague. Right? That's what I'm saying. Them trying to put this MOTB in the picture. That's a plague. And that plague is gonna be responded to in kind by the plague that the Lord gonna put on them. Go ahead.
Back in Ezekiel 14 and 15. So it mentioned the first plague being breaking the staff of bread. All right. This is Ezekiel 15. If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it, so that it be desolate, that no man may pass through it because of the beast. And that's crazy. When you look at that, it's saying not even just these beasts, but it's that bad that you can't even pass through the land. All right. But he's mentioning noisome beasts being the other plagues. All right. Now the scripture in Wisdom of Solomon, I believe it's in the 12th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. But it talks about how the Lord sends newly created beasts. All right. And when you read Wisdom of Solomon 12, it's literally going into how the Lord plagued the Canaanites. I believe that's in the 12th chapter, if I'm not mistaken.
17.
The water.
Talking about the apparitions and all that?
No,
oh, okay. No, the apparitions is the 17. So
that's the 17. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 12th chapter goes into the Canaanites, but I know between those two chapters, somewhere one of those chapters, it mentions the newly created beasts. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna pull it.
Okay, count the water. But he says, as you're pulling it up, he will send noisome beasts onto a land that you can't even pass through. Now, for those of y'all that remember, when Crown Royal 19 first hit and they actually had you sealed up in your homes, couldn't go nowhere, there were beasts that was coming out of their places. There were certain people that was recording it on social media and everything, bears walking down the street. Hell, we was at Cat's crib one time fellowship, and it was a damn possum that was on the fence close. Now, possums, you see them out and about, but they're usually secluded away from people. But when we said it this time, it was right there looking at us in our face. There was tigers. There was animals that escaped from the zoos around that time. The Lord has all this prepared. Them zoo animals that's there, there's going to be a way when that time comes where the Lord is going to allow them doors to be open. And these animals are going to flood the streets on top of these newly created beasts. Okay? So this is it, right? Yeah, okay, it's an 11, not 12. Con. Did you want to read it or?
Yeah, I'm about to read it.
Okay.
Right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18. It says, or unknown wild beast, full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. And think about that. Those newly created beasts were created for what? Vengeance. Vengeance, right. Vengeance is a plague. The Lord's vengeance is a plague.
That's right.
Period, point blank. You see, that's what I'm saying. Look at what the Lord is doing right now. He's plaguing the minds of men. That's why World War III is on the brink. He's plaguing the minds of these women. That's why they want to be. That's why they want dicks and power. He's plaguing the mind of these men because they sipping for these bitches that want dicks and power. He's plaguing Esau for touching the apple of the Lord's eye. How about them heathens? It's still a tsunami going over there. They got animals and shit chasing them gooks.
Yep.
Plagues.
Turn
on, even though the news is fake and they be lying. It's all about the plagues.
Yeah, that's all you see. Judgment, the Lord's judgment. That's right.
You got it.
Come. And man, I always think of those newly created beasts as well. Like, because we read in Ezekiel 14 that you can't even pass through the land without encountering these beasts. Now, Esau is creating robots and everything. All right. I don't know if y'all seen that movie Black Mirror, which you had a particular robots that they called them hounds. They were like four-legged like dogs. And you couldn't get away from them niggas. You know what I'm saying? If you encounter one of them and you escape, they track you down until you're dead. And Esau is clearly shown in video clips and such. Some of y'all that are watching this have seen it before, but they literally create little robots that look just like those hounds from Black Mirror. What the hell do you think they're creating them for?
To play your ass?
Exactly. Exactly. To police and judge. That's what they're being created for, man. All right, they're gonna be able to shoot out fire, laser smoke, all these different things. Esau creating them, just like the Lord used Esau to create weaponry and nuclear missiles for their judgment. He's also creating this on the other hand, not even just the laboratories and the test tubes and such, because you got beasts that are being created from that, but also you got artificial intelligence, AI, that's being created. And the spirit of the Lord can snap his fingers and have the robots turn renegade, man, just like on fucking Terminator. Excuse my language, but the Lord can do that. Okay.
Yeah, it's another movie. Man, what's the name of that movie? War of Men or Men of Wrath or something like that, where they had the robots. They dropped them off in Cambodia and just had them robots slaughtering people, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of the name of the movie. If I do remember it, I'll post it. But I remember posting it in the chat when I saw it. But that's what I'm saying. Esau and the things that he are creating all for the plagues, but he's under whose authority? I'll say that he ain't doing nothing the Lord ain't allowing him to do. You see, so you see how far Esau is willing to go. Think about how powerful the left hand of the Lord is.
Right.
He's controlling both sides. He's plaguing both sides.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody on this planet that ain't gonna fulfill the will of the Most High one way or another. Somebody got to get them plagues that's prophesied.
Yep.
So therefore, you got to have all this pride. You got to have all this arrogance. You got to have all this wickedness. Otherwise, you wouldn't have nothing to judge.
Mm-hmm.
So even the plagues that come upon us, at least we get it. At least we know why. We know how to stop them, right? Repent.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Con. Yeah, this is back in verse Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 16. Though these three men were in it, so it mentions these three men again after the second plague that's listed, the noisome beast. Though these three men were in it, as I live, save the Lord Yahweh, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. They only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. And it's a terrifying thing when you think about it, because brothers got families and stuff like that. But the Lord says you are not going to be able to personally deliver them from what's getting ready to come. Personally, we don't got power to do any of this. All right, you're gonna have your family with you, all these plagues happen and stuff. Where you gonna run to where there ain't no food? All right, by yourself, according to your own will, that is. All right, the noisome beasts come out here. Where you gonna run to on your own will, especially with your family? They'll do anything but slow you down. It's called, the only way that your family will be able to save is by the Lord.
That movie is called Monsters of Man.
Okay, yeah, Lord, I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna post it in the comment section.
Gone. But there's nothing that you can do according to your own will, especially save your family, not in your flesh. It's strictly the Lord that's going to be able to save. You ain't going to be able to do anything. You ain't going to be able to deliver nothing personally when that day comes. All right. This is back in Ezekiel, the 14th chapter, the 17th verse. It says, or if I bring a sword upon the land and say, sword, go to the land so that cut off man and beast from it. Though these three men were in it, as I live, save the Lord God, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered. And you just brought up a point a second ago, going into the right hand of the Lord and the left hand, and how he has control over both sides because it's his hands. You see right here, he commands the sword. He said, if he says sword, go into the land and slay man and beast, that's his commandment. That's him doing that. It's him sending forth this plague. All right. This ain't the devil that's doing that. No, this is the God of heaven and earth. You know? You got anything, Squad?
I'm posting the trailer for that movie.
Con. As you're posting it, just alluding back to something about a month ago at camp, there was an Edomite that looked like his daughter that came out, and we was talking about the plagues and how the Lord is sending these plagues. And he was like, God doesn't do that. I'm like, well, we know what God you're talking about, but the God of the Bible definitely does that. And this is an example of it right here. He sends it forth. If you try to give it to any type of power, you're giving less acknowledgement to the Lord. It's him that's doing this. This is part of his power, part of his glory. All right. We say he is Yahweh. This is one way out of many ways to prove that he is by the judgments that he sends. You know, that's those right. Canaanites knew about the Israelites by what the Lord did to Egypt by his plagues. You know, you was about to say something, Elder.
I will say, look at all the times that the word plague comes up in the scriptures, right? 24 times in 22 verses, and this is just in the regular Bible. And then when you can also do it in the Apocrypha too. In Genesis, right? It says, and the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abraham's wife. Now that was the situation where when Abram and Sarah was on the road.
I'll be right back, bro. I'll be right back.
Abram told the powers that be that Sarai was his sister instead of his wife. You see, and he did that to keep from getting killed. And what happened was Sarai was bad, so the Pharaoh felt he'll go ahead and take her since she was the sister. You see, but those plagues that the Lord put on him let him know that wasn't the thing to do. So he went back to Abram and he was like, "Yo, why you didn't tell me she was your wife, man? You almost got me jacked up." You see, because he understood the plagues made him very uncomfortable, and it made him want to inquire why these plagues all of a sudden coming upon me. You know what? Abram gave me his sister, and he came to that conclusion that the Lord is jacking me up because of this action. Right? Old Testament, New Testament, Apocrypha. Right? See, Levi 26 and 21. It says, "And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. Plagues are a result of sin, right? Going off. The Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and thy plagues, the plague of thy seed, even great plagues of long continuance, right? Sore sickness and of long continuance. Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, plagues. We earn them shits for going off. Now, the balance of that is the Lord set us up to go off to fulfill his will, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But that's what I'm saying. Plagues come from bullshit. You see? Woe unto us, Isaiah 4:8. Woe unto us. Who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. That's what I'm saying. That's documented. The way the Lord worked his works against those Egyptians, those plagues. You get into those plagues, what with the locusts, you had the frogs, you had the killing of the firstborn, you had the total darkness, you had all these different things. And Pharaoh was like, oh, snap, you know what? Get your people and get them out of here. I can't handle this plague. And the Lord hardened his heart because he wanted to do more. He wanted to plague him more. Those spirits created for vengeance. Let's get that. Let's get that. Spirits created for vengeance. All right, let's get that.
So lucky, y'all. I'm back.
And that's what I'm saying. Those spirits that was created for vengeance gonna be shooting fire out their eyes and doing all kind of stuff. You see? All right. Modify the search to the Apocrypha. That's what I'm saying. Ecclesiasticus 39:28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Lord's newly created beasts are going to be unleashed on this place, man. Period, point blank. And you've been told, that's what I'm saying. You got people that still going to be out there with flood-like behavior, like it ain't nothing. But at the end of the day, when your guts is hanging out,
that's right.
Cry. Don't cry. You know what I'm saying? When you looking at yourself upside down, outside your body, don't say shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your personal plague.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, however the Lord decide to judge us, that's our own personal plague. You see? We're not exempt from the plagues. We try to be exempt from the plagues. Only the Lord knows whether we're exempt or not. That's why we go out on the highways and the byways and we sigh and cry for the abominations that's being made, abominations in the midst thereof. That's why we follow the scriptures the way we follow them. We ain't gonna be able to get to the kingdom of heaven without tribulation.
Right.
You ain't gonna get to the kingdom of heaven without going through the plagues. Pull that real quick. Much tribulation. We entered into the kingdom. What's that? Acts?
Yeah, Acts 14.
Yeah, pull that real quick, Baba Kashab.
Blowing the dust off this one. I ain't brought this one out in a minute.
I'm gonna give them an example of a plague. I'm gonna click on this trailer too. After you get done. Yeah, because the movie was free on YouTube, but when I looked it up right then, they was talking about buy or rent. But I'm pretty sure they know how to find movies they want to watch.
Much tribulation, we shall enter into the kingdom of the Most High. I ain't brought that one out in so long. One moment, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Think about that. It will say unknown wild beasts, full of rage, newly created, breathing out either fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? You see, because when it come to what Esau got, that's what I'm saying. Think about what I just read, and I'm finna show y'all. I'm finna show y'all what Esau got.
I got it right here too, bro. So like it, man.
God.
It might be this phone update. I used to be able to do this while I was on the phone before, but I just updated it. Now I can't move from different pages while I'm recording live.
Oh yeah, I've witnessed that too.
God. Yeah, dang Androids, right? But I got that in Acts 14:22.
Go ahead and pull it.
And it reads, I'm gonna start at verse 21, just going into what we're doing, and it segues into 22. And it says, and when they preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Iconium and to Antioch, confirming the souls, this is verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the kingdom of God, the kingdom of the Most High.
It ain't no way. That's what I'm saying. Everybody thinking that they just gonna get in. No. These plays gonna hit, and we gonna be right in the midst of it. Period, point blank.
That's right.
Look, if a whole lot of chaos ain't happening, then the miracle of the Lord delivering us ain't gonna take place.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You got to keep in mind. You trying to argue with what's written. You can argue all you want. But that's what I'm saying. While you arguing and trying to come back with your aha moment, going into the scriptures in vain, deal with this shit right here, nigga.
Can they see it?
Dropping a secret team of robots into a country that we're not supposed to be in. It got serious the moment it was thought up.
Hey, can they see it, Yadazak? Because I can't see it. It's not showing up.
Say what?
I can't see the trailer. I don't know if they can see it on their end or not. I know usually it kind of pops up. I know if you're screen sharing it.
Gotta get out of here.
Where?
Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah, because I can't see it.
All right. Well, just go look at it on your own time. That shit a trip.
What's the movie called again?
Monsters of Man. I put the link in the comments.
Okay, that's a bet.
Yeah,
Cool.
Basically, it's Esau's creation going left. You know what I'm saying? So with those creations, that's what I'm saying. Think about that. With all the stuff that Esau is so-called creating that ain't nobody ready for, the Lord finna double down on his ass, man. You got, that's what I'm saying. If you got robots and all this shit, then what you think the Lord gonna have? He said no weapon formed is gonna prosper.
That's right.
So it's gonna come a point to where we gonna be a plague. If we those men that get those powers, guess who gonna be the plague then, bitch? Let's go, man.
I got that right here for you.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. And I'm going to start at verse 15. And it says, but the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies.
Jealousy is the rage of a man. And you messing with his woman.
Yeah.
Read it again. Read it again, Baba Kasha.
It says, he shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor. Complete armor. His jealousy is his complete, like when you play a game and you finally get all the accolades and get all the armor, that's complete armor where you can't get any past it.
And that's what I'm saying.
Jealousy is like that.
And that's what I'm saying. Knowing that is your husband, you're going to cry as that damsel in the field. Get your ass off me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to get both of us killed. You see? But when you cry out, there's no fault found in that woman.
Yeah.
Therefore, she don't get her. Susanna didn't get her own personal plague. She got delivered from that plague that those men tried to put upon her. That's the deliverance that we're looking for.
Yep.
We trying to avoid the plague, not run head first into it on some pride. But hey, everybody don't believe in the Bible, right?
Yep.
Everybody got one, but everybody don't believe in the Bible. So that's what I'm saying. That plague is gonna hit you. That plague is gonna hit you. That wasn't you can't juke move or spin move or you ain't finna Euro step around the plagues, my nigga.
Right.
Go ahead.
Con. Yeah, and these are plagues coming to the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm well aware of that number, you know, because as we read it in Ezekiel, the 14th chapter, it mentions though these men be in it, they're going to be around it. But hey, man, the elect ain't going to be touched. You know what I'm saying? They just going to be around it. And like you said, have to kind of juke and sidestep But the world, like you're going into, oh yeah, they gonna get touched very heavily by this, man.
Oh yeah.
They live their lives being wicked as hell. Ain't got touched or got judged as they think according to what they did, so they can walk around thinking everything's, excuse my French, but fucking hunky-dory. When that's not the case, as it's written. So sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore it is fully set in the heart of the sons of men to do evil. So they can do all this thinking that they ain't gonna get touched from the Lord. But now we in the season where the Lord is gonna hand out a lot of ass whoopings to these wicked people that are out here. And we're reading about it firsthand within these verses. This Wisdom of Solomon 5 going into how he's gonna make us, Lord willing, aware of that number, those tools meant to hand out those ass whoopings. Hunting season, as the priest for law said, if you're listening, bro. You know. But this is back in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 18. And it says, he shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of an helmet. And we going into them plagues, how that's a part of his judgment, you know, and how the elect are going to be a plague to these nations.
And that's what I'm saying. You're not putting on the whole armor of the Most High to go eat.
Mm-hmm.
You're not putting on the whole armor of the Most High to go tricking. What do you put on armor for? A war. The Lord is a man of war, with the mindset to bring plagues upon the heathen. 2/3 of Israel included.
So
telling his men to gird up and put on their armor. That's why I said we ain't putting on the armor to play patty cake with y'all. First of all, in the spirit, and then when we receive that reward, that's why I say whether me and Sha'ar is a part of that group or not, it's gonna be somebody. Those men exist.
Mm-hmm.
The 144,000 exist.
Yep.
And they're gonna become a plague unto this planet.
Got something for you.
To get it corrected. You got it.
This is Zechariah chapter 10. And I'm going to start at verse 3, and the point is in verse 4. It says, mine anger was kindled against the shepherds. And it's going into the shepherds on this side, the Bill Gates, the elites. All right. Those that so-called govern the world. All right. Esau pretty much is the modern day shepherd right now. All right. It says, mine anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I will punish the goats. You see another example showing you, because in Daniel 8, it mentions the he-goat, which are those Grecians. But who are those Grecians then? Edomites. Okay.
The Lord separated the sheep from the goats.
That's right. It says, for the Lord of hosts has visited his flock, the house of Judah, and have made them as his goodly horse in the battle. All right. Going into how we're going to be a plague unto the wicked. All right. Verse 4. Out of him came forth the corner. Out of him the nail, which is talking about Yahushua. Out of him the battle bow, Yahushua. And out of him every oppressor together. So right there, it's considering even us being oppressors in that day.
Yep.
All right. And who is going to be oppressed when that day comes? The wicked. The wicked are going to be oppressed, just as we're oppressed today, because they were a plague given unto us, as we mentioned earlier. All right, that was a thorn on our side. It's going to be vice versa, especially when the kingdom hits. But even this word being uttered, us being on the highways and hedges, because these elites definitely know. They see these events happening right after we utter it. All right. That's really like starting on this side, like us being a thorn on this side, that transferring of power, they see it. You know, that's why they fuck up the YouTube streams and everything like that, because they plagued. You know, you got it, Saquon.
That's right. All right, let's you want to pull a couple examples?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Whatever example come to your mind first. Let's pull it.
What kind? Okay. Well, I do got a precept. I might as well just bring this out to mention examples.
I'm gonna say you can just call out the precept to me. I'll share it on the screen.
Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse is it in verse 14? Let me see here. 2nd Ezra 16. And we can start at verse 13.
All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold.
And those are going into the nukes. We just read it earlier in Ezekiel, the 14th chapter, that he says he sends a sword to the land and commands the sword to go into a land. Now, these are talking about the nuclear missiles right here, the arrows that can be shot from one end of the earth to another. These are those ICBM missiles. And that's going to be the final plague that's to hit Babylon. Okay? You got it, Elder.
God. All right. Verse 14, it says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Boom. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't get around that. We can't get around that. That's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. The Lord ain't making no promises that he ain't keeping. When you think about prophecy, think promise. It's synonymous. It says the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Until it consumes the foundation of the earth. That fire is not going to get put out. So that lets you know that fire is going to start. You see? And it's not going to stop until the Lord's will has been fulfilled. Another plague.
That's right. And that's why Babylon's going to be considered a lake of fire in that day, because there's going to be so much fire and magma, lava, because the stuff's going to melt. All right. It talks about how the elements are going to melt by fervent heat. The elements ain't just going to cool down immediately. No. You remember when during 9/11, when the Twin Towers fell, they was talking about the core of that, what was left over was so hot. And I remember it was hot for weeks.
Bro, it take a while for the flame to go out when you barbecue.
Yeah. Yep.
They can miss me with that shit.
Yep, real talk.
That's what I'm saying. That fire don't just go out. I don't give a fuck how much chicken you cook. That fire don't just go out as soon as you're done with the chicken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bro, you got so much oil that this place has acquired, so many different things, bro. The Lord, certain of these resources the Lord made that they're highly flammable. And they're going to burn, bro. America wanted that oil bad. They're going to have it. They're going to have plenty of oil when that day comes. That's going to be fuel for fire, along with your ass. At least you repent.
That's right.
You know?
Fanny's made for fire, bro.
That's right. God. There's more to that, too.
Go ahead.
It's in verse 16. It says, like as an arrow which is shot off a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
And that's what I'm saying. That's what we are. Who gonna deliver us in those days? Because we the ones telling people all this stuff is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew before them. And this is our response. To go out on the highways and the byways like, look, this is what it is. This is what's happening. This is what's coming. Whether you hear or forbear, look, I'm going to do my job. You know what I'm saying? I can't run and take off. I can't take off running for you.
That's right.
You see? And that's what I'm saying. Ezra was seeing all these things coming and was like, oh, snap. What am I going to do in that day? We the same way. You know what we're going to do? We're going to be instant in season, out of season. We're going to preach this word, man. We're going to pray. We're going to fast. We're going to do what we was instructed to do. Pray without ceasing. Preach the word, right? Bid them to the marriage. That's what we're going to do.
Right.
It's just like how when you heard it, when they give the siren and say that the missile been shot, everybody screaming, what we going to do? What we going to do? You done already lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You should have been figuring that out, Father.
If you think you finna run anywhere that ain't finna get hit, you done already lost. Because the scriptures say that those men that are obedient are gonna be kept in that day.
Right.
So when those obedient men was telling you that this is coming, and you blew cigarette smoke on them, what the hell you think was gonna happen?
Exactly.
Plague.
Right. Mm-hmm. I got another one too.
Cut.
This is Habakkuk chapter 3. I'm gonna start at 16 and I'm gonna just read all the way down to the last verse in 19. It says, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up unto people, he will invade them with his troops. Although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall fruit be in the vines. All right, so it mentioned the troops. Now it's mentioning the lack of the fig tree and the vines. These are plagues he's talking about. And Habakkuk, just as Ezra said, woe is me in those days. This is pretty much Habakkuk saying the same thing. Okay. It says, although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall fruit be in the vine. The labor of the olive shall fail, and the field shall yield no meat. The flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herds in the stalls. This is getting into how the elect gonna be taken care of. Verse 18. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. Now, why does he say that? Why does he mention the God of salvation right when all this judgment's taking place? Because in order for us to be saved, these events, these plagues have to happen and have to hit. And these are plagues that we are going to see personally. Just as Ezra said, woe is me, just as Habakkuk is going into the list of what's taking place, we're going to see it. But in the midst of that, if we have the elect, we're going to be delivered out of it. Just as it mentioned Noah, Daniel, and Job in Ezekiel 14. Though these men were in it, they were saved out of it. Okay? And there's one more verse. It says, the Lord Yahweh is my strength, and he will make my feet like hinds' feet. He will make me walk upon high places, to the chief singer on my string instrument. Ooh. All right. So he was telling you about the plagues in the form of a song.
Yep.
You want to talk about gangster rap? Well, no, hey, forget that. This is the real rap right here, man. Letting you know the drama that's to come. But in the midst of that, the elect gonna be taken care of. You may read about it in Job 5. Mentions those 6 troubles, but it says in the 7th, we ain't gonna be able to experience that. Lord will aware of that number. You got it, bro.
Gun. I would say no, man. I would say unless you want to get another example, I think the point was made.
Con. There's a little more in the 2nd Ezra 16. The main point I wanted was in verse 19. You know. But this is back in verse 18 in 2nd Ezra 16. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and power shall stand in fear. The
That's
beginning
what I'm
of evil.
Vocab. When did this start? I know you don't believe in the Bible. I mean, I know you don't believe in the Apocrypha, but that's what I'm saying. Bruh, you can't see all this shit happening?
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you like this, Vocab. You not dealing with prophecy is the very reason why you're going to get destroyed. Because you talk about Jesus Christ and Christianity and all these things. Pull Revelation 19 and 10. You have to deal with prophecy if you're going to put your hands on this book.
That's
and
right.
You don't, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank.
That's right.
Eliminating the prophecies and running your mouth and playing around and all that. Let me tell you something, homeboy. Prophecy matters. And the more you try to sweep it under the rug and all them parodies and all them puppets and muppets and all that shit, yeah. The angels have noticed that. You don't even worry about us. It ain't like we're going to do shit anyway. But that's what I'm saying. You negating the spirit of prophecy, oh, that's a direct order against Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. I got a quick one for you.
His followers should be telling people when he's going to return. Your ass ain't doing that.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I'm saying. And when you get your own personal plague, you're going to have to deal with it your damn self.
Mm-hmm.
Read on, Rock. Read on.
Yeah, that's the fruit of Christianity, bro. There's no solutions in Christianity. You know, they don't tell you about the plagues, the judgments, all these things that's getting ready to take place, man. And it's funny, we just mentioned and read how the Lord is going to visit those shepherds in Zechariah 10. Hey, Vocab's even an example of that.
Right.
You know, he's a shepherd to his people. He's an Edomite, a shepherd to them, but he's leading them a slaughter. And what are Edomites? A lot of them are Edomites anyway, so they threw. But even the Jakes that follow him, he's leading all of them to destruction. You know, but I do got this quick one for you. This is in the book of Psalms, chapter 50, starting at 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare the statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Mentioning Vocab. He don't go into the prophecies, but he claims to be a man of the cloth, as they say. Where the prophecies at, cuz?
Man.
All right. Verse 17. Seest thou hatest instruction? He can't stand whenever we do lessons, we do shows, videos.
Bro, Jesus Christ shook the dust off his feet when didn't nobody want to hear him.
Right. Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna use the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Straight up, bro.
You got it, bro.
Bro, we're literally his platform, bro. He can't stop talking about it. He can't stop.
And it's backfiring.
Yeah.
Bro, we literally through the Spirit forced him to go into Obadiah to make it worse on him.
Yep.
To make it worse, bro. Hey, everybody on the comment board, break down Obadiah through the Spirit when you get a chance. Yeah. Especially if you look like an Israelite foreigner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to say, let's plague him, right? he wanted the Hebrew Israelites through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rekah HaKodash. Let's plague him.
Mm-hmm.
That was he already grew a beard and got fat. That's because of them plagues. We see you, boy.
Yeah.
Pull that revelation.
I had a dream, bro. This is about a month ago, and Vocab was in it. You know, I mentioned it on a camp day. It's real quick. We're just going right into it. We're talking about his fat ass. You know what I'm saying? But it was me and Yashawamba, and we was in somebody's house. And Vocab walked up in that mug being a demon, and I started rebuking him. Yashawamba too. But I started getting to the point where I wanted to put hands on him. You know, then it got to the point where he ran out of the house, and I chased him like, oh no, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wanted to lay hands on him, but it was like that figure of rebuke. You know what I'm saying? So I chased him like, no, you gonna get this smoke from the Lord. You ain't gonna run and escape. And we run outside, you know, and right when I get to rebuking him, there's hundreds of chariots that started flying over. You know, in the midst of it, I started praising the Lord. You know, I started saying, call hello, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And right when I started doing it, he tried to do it too. You know what I'm saying? But as he was trying to do it, I threw up a prayer to the Lord and asked for the Lord to smite the scoffers and smite the enemies and for their wickedness and what they've done. And immediately when I threw up that prayer, he looked at me and started running away and shit. Then the dream was over. You know? But you mentioned Vocab, and we going into how he wanted to put the covenant in his mouth and everything like that. You know, no, it's too late, bro. The Lord ain't hearing the prayers.
Yep. Plague's coming, man.
Mm-hmm.
Plague's coming. That's what I'm saying. He went too far 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, straight up.
When he started popping up on the camps and looking for a signal to find him and shit, he was already done then.
Right.
But that's right. About that the Jesus Christ, read it verbatim.
Gone. This is back in you want a Revelation 19 to be read?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Like you said, we already talked about his fat ass.
Gone. This is Revelation 19:10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that had the testimony of Yahweh, Jesus. Verbatim. Worship the Most High. Worship God. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
Now, I'm gonna pull that word prophecy. We ain't gonna play with it, and then we can close up. Revelation 19.
Yeah, 19:10. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Revelation 19:10. All right, the spirit of prophecy.
Numa.
Strong's G 4394. Prophetia.
All right, prophecy. All right, a discourse emanated from divine inspiration and declaring the purposes of God, whether by reproving and admonishing the wicked, or comforting the afflicted, or revealing things hidden, especially by foretelling future events. That's what I'm saying. What future event has Vocab told anybody? Outside of well, you're gonna see Israelites on the corner and they're gonna be telling you you're going into slavery. That's about as much prophecy as you done gave. Used in the New Testament, the utterance of the Old Testament prophets. Yeah,
but that's done away with though, so that don't matter. It's done away with.
But that's what I'm saying. No. He brought it back up when he went into Obadiah the other day.
Yep.
So he stuck it in his own ass.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. Of the prediction of events relating to Christ's kingdom and his speedy triumph. When is Christ's kingdom gonna take place, Vocab?
That's right.
When? According to Christianity, when is Christ gonna come back, conquer all the nations, and set up the kingdom of heaven?
Yeah.
I remember you telling us the world was gonna blow up at the end. See, stop acting like you ain't no tape talking this madness. Together with the consolations and admonitions pertaining to it, the spirit of prophecy, the divine mind to which the prophetic faculty is due. You don't prophesy. You don't care about the future, vocab, unless you're trying to defend yourself from the judgment of the Edomites.
Right.
That's prophesied.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Of the endowment and speech of the Christian teachers called prophets. You're a Christian teacher, boy.
So-called.
You're a Christian teacher. No prophecy. That's what I'm saying. Instead of prophecy, it's puppets and muppets.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We see you, boy. I hope you upset.
Yeah.
I will say the gifts and utterances of these prophets, right? Of the predictions of the works of which, set apart to teach the gospel, will accomplish the kingdom of Christ. I have never heard you say nothing about the kingdom of Christ with all this stuff that you done said.
Yeah.
Address that. Address that or not. Or not. Hey, it's 14 people on this stream right now. You probably ain't one of them. That's cool. But that's what I'm saying. I know when you open up that Bible to Revelation 19 and say that the spirit of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Jesus Christ ain't even working with you, nigga. And that's why these plagues coming. You got anything else?
Yeah, I want to finish up that second Ezra. There's one more verse to it.
Come on.
This is back in second Ezra of 16. In the ending of verse 18, it says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? This is Ezra asking that again. What's up with us when this stuff comes? All right, verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scourges for amendment. All right. And what are scourges for amendment? Violation of breaking what the Lord told you to do. All right. And these people have lived their lives not giving a dang about Yahweh, about Shem, Yahweh Shai, or as they believe, Jesus or God, as they would say. They live their lives being complete hypocrites and contrary to what the scriptures say, and don't do it. So the Lord is sending these famines and these plagues and all these things because of your wickedness and your rebellion, starting with these Israelites. But we read it earlier in Psalms 50 and 16. What is thou to do to declare thy statutes? All right. So even going into the wicked that want to consider themselves to be men of the cloth. No, the Lord is going to judge you accordingly because you wanted to be one that held yourself to that standard. Now you got to fall by the standard. But what the Lord says,
you're gonna have to deal with talking to them brothers into eating that eel.
Oh man, jellyfish, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that jellyfish. Yeah, it was all fun and games. It was all fun and games, but that's what I said. That jellyfish is gonna come back on you.
He gonna bathe with jellyfish in the kingdom.
I'm telling you.
Whoever land he on, your bathe is gonna be jellyfish for them 1,000 years.
Yep, the jellyfish gonna know how to fight. I'm talking about stand up with you. Yeah, you got it.
God, that's it on that precept.
Okay, God. Let me see. I think we've covered everything that we mentioned. Yeah, I think we good. We you go ahead and close us out, brother.
Okay, Con. Well, hey, Lord's willing, this was edifying. Like, we're in a season right now where the Lord, he's been revealing himself, but that's something that I've heard many brothers mention. These prophecies ain't never spoke so loud before. Never. All right, we're literally seeing the plagues the Lord is sending upon the earth. The MOTB that's coming, that's a plague, and it's going to be a grievous sword that's going to come with it, according to Revelation. That's right. So what's taking place right now, just know these are entry-level plagues the Lord is sending. It's about to get real ugly out here. To the point where those men said, woe was me in those days, who's going to deliver me? This, that, and the third. It's going to get bad out here. But no, that's coming because the Lord is getting ready to save his elect. These things have to happen.
It's just like when coming out of Egypt. When you go into those plagues went from annoying to terrifying to deadly.
Yeah.
And right now we in the annoying stage.
Yeah. That's right.
But all that other stuff is coming. So, hey, if you want to avoid the plague, if you want to avoid being consumed by the plagues, because they coming regardless.
Yeah, right.
If you want to avoid being consumed by the plague, repent, man. Repent. That's what I'm saying. Why we got to repent and you don't?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, hey, with that, Lord willing, that was edifying, inspirational. Hopefully, it lit a fire up under everybody who need to light a fire up under, you know. And then, Lord willing, we can get out of here in one piece. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we want to give all praises to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Pieces, blessings to the Akim teaching about the mind Wa'amat. That's in sincerity and truth. Shalom.
Shalom. 1 sec.